Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. We'll be doing a Horde tier list. Basically, we'll be ranking all the Hordes in EU4 based on their starting position, national ideas, missions, ability to form other nations, and more. If you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to leave a like and subscribe. Only 9% of you are subscribed, so it really means a lot. F tier. We start off with F tier. This tier contains all the Hordes which are not present in the 1444 start date. They also have no unique achievements, national ideas, or missions, so realistically, you would almost never play as any of these nations. Let's go over these nations quickly. Astrakhan. Astrakhan is a nation that is present in the game after 1459. It can be released by the Great Horde and is located in the Puntnik Steppe. It has cores on these 5 provinces, and they would honestly make a pretty good vassal if you're conquering these areas. Bashkiria. Bashkiria is a nation that used to be present in 1444 start date, but not anymore. It can really be released by Nogai and Kazan and has cores on these 4 provinces, one of which is a gold mine. Chahar. Chahar is a nation that's not present in any start date, and as such is considered a revolter tag. It has cores on these 8 provinces and can be released by Mongolia and Korchin. You might consider releasing them in order to use a Reconquest CB, but it's not worth it since these provinces are low dev anyway. Dunsgar. Dunsgar is a Vajrayan horde. This is present from the 1643 start date onwards. It doesn't have cores at the start of the game, but can gain them on the north and south Dunsgarian areas if Oirat has less than 10 provinces. They also considered a revolter tag. Kazakh. Kazakh is probably the best nation in F tier. It exists after 1463 and can be released by Uzbek, Nogai, and Chagatai. It has cores on a whopping 26 provinces, and they'll make a great subject to be used for reconquest. Khalkha. Khalkha is the most obscure nation on this list, since I couldn't find any information about it other than the fact that it's in the game. They have no cores in any provinces at the start of the game, and I don't even know if they get any and how would you play as them. They probably appear in the region where the Khalkha culture is present, in Mongolia and Oirat. Koshund. Koshund is a nation that appears after 1638. There's almost no information about it other than the fact that it can appear in the Tiberi region. Qasim. Qasim is a nation that appears after 1452. It has only 1 core province of Qasimov, which is owned by Muscovy at the start. Sibir. Sibir is a nation that is present after 1468. It has cores on these 12 provinces and can be released by Uzbek and Nogai. E tier. Now we move on to E tier. These nations are available at the start of the game but have very weak starting positions and offer no unique national ideas or achievements. Karadel. Karadel is a 2-province minor that starts sandwiched between Chagatai, Oirat, and Ming. The only thing it has going for it is that it's a tributary of Ming, so at least it's a little bit protected, and have access to the Mongol mission tree. Play this nation only if you want a real challenge. Sareg Yogir. Sareg Yogir is just south of Karadel, and basically in the same position as them. They are also tributary of Ming. They also have the Mongol mission tree. You can at least expand as them into Kham and further into Tibet, although mountains aren't fully suitable for Horde nations. D tier. With those 2 out the way, we move on to D tier. These nations are quite stronger than the previous ones, but the starting positions are also not very good. Uduge. Uduge is probably the weakest Jurchen nation, often being the first to be divided up by its neighbors. You will need very careful planning and opportunities if you want to get the best start. Uduge also has the Manchurian missions. Yiren. Yiren is another Jurchen nation, and as such has all the benefits like the other ones do. Their starting position is more difficult though. With careful attacks, you can quickly become the dominant tribe in Manchuria. Korchin. Korchin is the only nation in this tier that is not a Jurchen nation. They are stronger than most of their neighbors, even if a generic Horde idea is set. You need to be careful when playing them though. since they don't start as a tributary of Ming, which can quickly mean war, one that you'll lose. They also can't form Manchu even if they are close proximity of other nations that can. Fortune is access to the Mongol mission tree. Donghai. Donghai is the second Jurchen nation on this list. They have a coast and can easily expand to other nations here. Their problem is expanding into Zhanzhou and Haiqi since there are Ming's tributaries. Be sure to strike at the right moment. Donghai can also form Manchu, has access to banners and the Jurchen national ideas. Donghai also has a Manchu mission tree. Haiqi. Haiqi is the first Jurchen nation on this list, and as such has Jurchen national ideas. You probably know them as the first nation you attack when you play as Zhanzhou. Haiqi has many opportunities to expand, and you can very quickly form Manchu as them and get the Manchurian candidate and King of China achievements. Being Jurchen gives an ability to recruit Manchu banners, a special unit type that has plus 5% discipline, minus 75% manpower needed, and minus 50% maintenance cost. They also have the benefit of being a tributary of Ming. So Jurchen nations other than Zhanzhou won't be attacking you. Haiqi has access to the Manchurian mission tree, which it shares with the other nations like itself, as well as Manchu. Haiqi, along with Zhanzhou, are the only two hordes that start with feudalism embraced in 1444. C tier. With that, it's time to move on to C tier, the tier where the really powerful nations start appearing. These nations are much stronger than all the previous ones, but lack a little something in order to get them into a higher tier. Let's see which ones they are. Nogai. Nogai is one of our first in the let's call them European-ish hordes. They start off between Transoxiana, Uzbek, Kazan, and the Great Horde, all seemingly stronger nations, but with careful diplomacy and opportunistic wars, you can take over the entire region and quickly form the Golden Horde. Nogai has the generic horde ideas and the Tatar mission tree, but they do have a unique achievement, Tatarstan, which it shares with Kazan. Uzbek. Uzbek is the largest of the European-ish hordes in EU4. With a starting army of 22k, it might also seemingly be the strongest. Their vast territory makes them very annoying to fight, but it may also annoy you when you play as them. Uzbek can expand rapidly not only to Eastern Europe, but into Transoxiana and Mongolia too. They can also form the Golden Horde, but they are slightly held back by the generic horde ideas and lackluster Tatar missions. Chagatai. Chagatai is an overlooked nation, but make no mistake, with their unique national ideas and their vassal in Yarkhan, they can quickly become the dominant horde. The only thing that is not good about Chagatai is that they don't have even a single unique mission. If you're playing as them, make sure to be careful with Ming, as you'll get aboard of them sooner rather than later, and you need to be prepared for when you do. Oirite can also be a formidable enemy. Zhanzhou. Zhanzhou is the only Jurchen nation that is not in a D tier, and for a good reason. They are a player favorite when it comes to the forming Manchu and later King. Their excellent starting position is owed to the fact that they are a tributary of Ming, and they are the only nation in the region that have a level 3 fort. Combined with their Jurchen ideas, Manchuria mission trees, and opportunities to expand to all neighbors, it will be speedrunning forming Manchu and later King in no time. By playing as Manchu, you can get the unique Manchu achievements, Manchurian candidate, and King of China. Zhanzhou with Haiqi are the only two hordes that start with feudalism embraced. Great Horde. The Great Horde is another player favorite. By the way, side note, as the speaker is also my player favorite as well, and probably the most common nation that players choose when trying to form the Golden Horde, and later the Mongol Empire. They do have the generic horde ideas. By playing as the Great Horde, you can get the unique achievement Gold Rush and the Great Khan, which it shares with Mongolia. Their ability to rapidly expand to various nations, their 2 forts, and the ability to quickly embrace institutions by being so close to Europe makes them as an excellent starting choice for the first-time Horde players. B tier. Next we move on to B tier, In this tier, we have a very powerful hordes, but they are lacking just a little something in order to get them to a higher tier. Make no mistake though, these are some of the most OP nations in the game, even if they are B tier. Crimea. Crimea is an often overlooked nation, and generally known as the Ottoman March due to Crimean Succession event. In the hands of the player, you have one of the most powerful hordes in the game. They are in a unique position by having a level 3 coastal fort, the ability to ally the Ottomans, taking and expanding in many directions and religions, so aggressive expansion is not an issue. And not only that, they also have an excellent, unique national ideas. Their missions are the generic Tatar mission though. If you choose to play as Crimea, you will very quickly form the Golden Horde, and soon you won't even need the Ottomans as an ally. Kazan. Kazan is next on this list, and it's one of my personal favorite hordes to play as. Kazan has really strong, unique national ideas. Pair those with their gold mine, level 3 fort, and the ability to very quickly flip to an orthodox horde. In about 20 years, you'll become the strongest nation in the world before going on to form the Golden Horde, and later the Mongol Empire. You need to be careful of Muscovy at the start though, so make sure to attack them when they are fighting Novgorod. Unfortunately, they also have the same Tatar mission tree as the other European-ish hordes. Mongolia. Mongolia is one of the strongest hordes in the game. Many people might not think so, though, because they started as a vassal to Oirite. With a tough independence war looming, and having to face the threat of a Ming China afterwards, it can definitely be a formidable task. But if you do manage to break free and defeat Ming, you can utilize the insane Mongolian ideas and Mongolian mission tree to quickly form the Great Yuan, and soon after, the Mongol Empire. Starting as Mongolia can also grant you the unique achievement, the Great Khan, as well as back in control. A tier. Now we arrive to A tier. These are the strongest hordes in EU4, with two of them being formidable nations, Manchu. Manchu is a nation that you may not have expected to be so high up. Their national ideas are the same as the nation you form it with, which are the Manchu national ideas, and their mission tree is also the same as before. So what's so good about it? Well, they're the only nation that can form one of the best nations in the game, King. Not only do you get Manchu banners, the amazing unit type we discussed earlier, you can also get 3 unique achievements: a Manchurian candidate, King of China, and these banners need a saga. Make no mistake, once you take all over the Jurchen tribes and form Manchu, you already take on Ming. Just make sure they have passed a reform recently and are below 50 mandate. The Golden Horde. The Golden Horde is one of the most beloved formidable nations in the game by many players, and it's easy to see why. They have a really strong national ideas, and after you form it, you'll be conquering the world in no time. Even though it might look difficult, especially facing off with Muscovy and their subjects, you can definitely form them after a couple of tries. After you form it, you'll get claims on a vast area of land. Not that you'll need them though, as a tribal feud and tribal conquest CBs will be your best friends for a very long time. The only thing lacking about the Golden Horde is that you do not get any new unique missions, meaning you have the mission tree from whichever nation you formed it with, so usually the Tatar missions. By forming it before the year 1500, you can get the achievement Gold Rush. I'm personally trying to form it by 1450 right now. Oirite. Oirite is the strongest horde in the game, period. Not only that, it might even be the strongest nation in the game too. Oirite is a first pick for many players when trying for a world conquest, and is considered the best horde too, as evidenced by these polls that I ran on my channel. By playing as Oirite, you'll be beating down Ming in the first year, and stealing the treasury many more times. Rapid expansion is all possible directions is a must, after which you can form the Great Yuan, the most broken and OP nation in the game. And what comes after Yuan? S tier. At S tier, we have the most overpowered horde in the game, the Mongol Empire. Sure, It's probably the hardest nation to form in the game, but by starting as Alright and forming Yuan and get the most OP national idea set in the game, after this, when you form the Mongol Empire, you get the most OP government type in the game, the Great Mongol State. This government form is basically a horde on steroids. When you form the Mongol Empire, you get access to the unique banner unit type, even if you don't start as a Jurchen tribe. The Mongol Empire not having any unique missions or national ideas is offset by the fact that you have the best government in the game, and you form them as Yuan. You have the best national ideas in the game. Forming it is a formidable challenge for any player, but once you do, you will be unstoppable. What do you think of this tier list? Is it similar to how you rank these nations, or is it different? Leave a comment with your own tier list. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to leave a like and subscribe. Only 9% of you are subscribed. It will really mean a lot. And join the Discord. The link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with another EU4 video.